Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A video, answer segment type of video leading up to The Walking Dead Season 6's second half. In this one we're going to be starting with me giving my thoughts on how I think AMC is going to handle Negan's swearing issue. And I want to apologize to you guys for not getting a video posted for you guys yesterday. Just, of course, Christmas week, and have to finish up some shopping and that kind of stuff before the the big day for the family and that. So, speaking of which, Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Happy holidays if you if you don't celebrate. If you're from you have another holiday or whatever the case may be. Just happy holidays to all of you guys. So, keep sending me your guys' questions, and I'll keep making videos for you guys all throughout the break. We're going to do some comic book series to TV series comparisons and things like that coming up pretty soon. Some updated videos, some top tens, and all that good stuff, the usual stuff. So the first one for this is one that people have been asking me about for a while, and that is to give my thoughts on an article which was written in early December, but because of all the craziness with the mid-season finale, I didn't get to it in all the other videos that I was making. I didn't really mention it. So this was an article. We've got it on vulture.com. I'll put the link in the description. And this one's from Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who, of course, has been cast as Negan in The Walking Dead Season 6's second half and going forward as a series regular in Season 7. The Walking Dead's Jeffrey Dean Morgan on Negan's cursing. We're going to push AMC, quote-unquote. So it says here... when they asked him about it, Jeffrey D. Morgan said, "Look, it's a speed bump. I'm not going to say it's an issue because they're working on it. We're going to push AMC. The plan is to push them as far as they can because it's who Negan is." He uses some colorful language, and I use some colorful language, and reading the comic, it's important. So we'll see where that lands. It's our intention that the character is going to leap off the pages of the comic book, so it's very important that that's who it is. Some of the characters, there's much more leeway, but Negan is a guy that you want to keep as true as possible, and that would be how I want to play him as well. Oh, and how's the swing? They said, and he says, "I don't need to practice my swing. I grew up with a bat in my hands." And then they said, "That's the effing spirit." So I gave my thoughts on that part. That's pretty awesome that he said that. That he's familiar with a baseball bat. He's familiar with baseball. He's played baseball, it sounds like. Okay, so the part about him mentioning that they're going to push AMC as far as they can go, but I don't think AMC can really go that far. If you notice with The Walking Dead, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, write it in the comments below if I'm incorrect, but I don't think we've ever heard a character say the F word in The Walking Dead. I'm almost positive never. Now, Game of Thrones, HBO, that's a different deal. They can show nudity. They can have characters having like almost softcore. You have swearing. They say the F word every other line, especially Tyrion. So that's a different case because that's a subscription-based network. But AMC is not. It's not basic cable, but it's like one of your like your premium cable channels. It's kind of in between, I guess, basic cable and kind of a premium cable channel. Some subscriptions you may not include AMC depending on where you are. If you have cable, if you have satellite, what your deal is for TV. As I'm sure most of you guys have AMC, of course, because you watch the channel, you love The Walking Dead. But I'm almost positive he cannot say the F word he can't. Pretty sure, and even though he says they're going to push AMC because that's who Negan is, I still don't think he can say that, So I think they're going to have to switch it out for another word. I don't think they're going to use a censor beep. I think that would be weird, or kind of mute it when that happens, because it takes you out of the experience. It feels clunky, and it doesn't feel right. So I think they're going to switch it out for another word. They might switch it out for screw or something like that. Maybe shit or crap or something. Just switch it out for another word. Screw or they could kind of change F, like instead of saying fuck, he could say like fack or something. But that would be kind of close, cutting it close. So I think they'll probably switch it for screw or shit or something like that. Which it will take away from Negan as a character because that's part of him, is that he swears like constantly. He swears every sentence, so he can't not swear. It's who he is. So that's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? There's more hoops to jump through when it comes to television series and a comic book series. And comic book series, especially that's independent, well, not really independent, but it's through Image, so it's one of your, not one of your big Marvel or DC. the rating and stuff, they can kind of get away with it a lot more easily with Negan swearing every other page. But with the TV series, they can't do it. So at least they can't use the F word. They could probably use shit instead or something like that. So I think that's probably what they're going to do, is use as close to a word as possible and swap it out for either screw or shit or something like that, another swear word that's not the F-bomb, because they just can't. They can't do that. I'm pretty sure. I'd be shocked if they actually did it anyway. And I've looked into some FCC things like that and stuff like that. And it says apparently as long as the advertisers don't have a problem with it, I guess it's okay. But that's a tough one. I don't think AMC would want to mess with advertising because that's where they make all their cash. So I don't know. There's some kind of different debate and things like that. The FCC has their rules and cable, and you get all these different layers, and it's shown in so many different channels and things like that. So in different countries and everything. So and different providers, and you get into all that nonsense. So I think they'll probably just swap it out and choose another swear word instead, like shit or something. So those are kind of my thoughts. Write your comments below, guys, on what you think they're going to do with Negan swearing, because he has to, but yet he can't. I don't think he can use the F-bomb. I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, and I would like for him to be able to, but I don't think that's where they're going to go with it. I don't think they can. So we're going to do a few of your guys' questions for today's. First question is from Lynsey Long, and she says, hey, Trev, I have a question for your Q&A. Do you think we will see Negan for a full episode in the season finale or just a couple of minutes? Also, have another question. Let's get into the second question first, or the second question after. So first question is, do I think we're going to see him in like an entire episode or a couple episodes or just for a few minutes? I think it's just a few minutes. I think it's going to be like the last 5 or 10 minutes of the episode, maybe 20, and like of episode 16 of the finale, and that's going to be it. Because it's kind of like Morgan showing up, like they kind of teased it for a while, and then they had to meet the group at the end, right? I think Negan will be left as the final reveal for kind of the season. And I'm actually surprised that we're even going to get him to see him in the season 6 finale, because I thought it was going to be season 7, maybe even season 8 or something, depending on how the pacing went. But luckily they've really stepped it up, and it's going to be awesome to see the finale. It should be one of my favorite episodes ever for sure, and be in our top 10 that we'll have to update again after this half season's done. And then her second question is, what is your favorite film featuring zombies? Big fan, keep up the great work. So that's a great question from Lynsey. I've talked about it before a few times over the years. And Day of the Dead is probably my favorite. I really, really like Day of the Dead. You guys can actually watch it on YouTube. The whole thing is uploaded on YouTube. There's also Dawn of the Dead, which is a fun older zombie movie. But I think Day of the Dead is probably my favorite. I also like Shaun of the Dead a lot. That's one of my favorites too. I watched that one. I've watched it with Jess a few times. She loves it. It's hilarious. It's just really, really funny. And then, of course, there's 28 Days Later, which is amazing in terms of like the fear part, in terms of the horror aspect to a zombie apocalypse. They're almost not even like zombies. They're almost like crazies. And I heard Crossed might be getting a TV series, which is cool, because that's another comic book that's similar in a lot of ways to Walking Dead. So if they actually do a TV series for Crossed, I'll definitely be checking that out and doing a review for you guys. If you're familiar with Crossed, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like you have zombies, but they're not exactly zombies. They're kind of crazies, almost like they go nuts type of deal, and they get this rage virus and they go nuts, just like 28 Days Later. So I'd have to say either 28 Days Later, Shaun of the Dead, or Day of the Dead. Probably Day of the Dead being my classic favorite zombie movie, favorite of the Romero. But I know a lot of people like Dawn of the Dead. Night of the Living Dead, of course, is always good too. But it's fun to watch, but it's just so retro that it's after watching The Walking Dead, it seems like nothing if you've seen The Walking Dead, right? So, and the characters have no idea what they're doing, and the ending is kind of crazy as well too. So Night of the Living Dead is good too. So there's my answer for you, Lynsey. Next one's from Stephen DeMita, and he says, hey Trev, big fan of the channel. If Daryl is killed off by the end of season 6, who do you think will take over as Rick's new right-hand man? Keep up the great work. I actually saw a poll on undeadwalking.com. According to their readers, they did a top 10 list for their top 10 favorite characters, and Daryl's still number 1. So he's actually more of a fan favorite than even Rick at this point, which is crazy if you think about it. So definitely could be wrong on that one. It is what it is, right? But maybe it's Morgan. I don't know, man. It's so tough to tell. There's no way to know, no matter how much you know about the show. Your guess is as good as mine, type of deal, that type of thing. Okay, so who would take over? Well, if they killed Daryl, you could easily take over with Morgan, somebody like that. But, Lenny James, too. Lenny James kind of seems like the type of actor that likes to do a lot of different projects, and he doesn't like to get tied down to one project from what I've seen from his experience. He looks like he's got, tons of different stuff, and I haven't seen... I don't know if he's in Walking Dead for the long haul. I don't know if he's in Walking Dead for 5 seasons or something. In fact, with the route they're going with him now, I'd almost be surprised if he did, because they've taken the character in such a different direction that I didn't think they would. But yeah, I think somebody like Morgan, of course, you've got Michonne there. Even though Michonne's female, she could still take over as Rick's second. It doesn't matter. And people always call me sexist in the channel. So here's one to go against you. Michonne could be Rick's right-hand girl. So there you go. Instead of man, and she's tough as nails, so that'd be cool to see. So there you go. And there's Abraham. There's all kinds of other characters as well too. They have such a big roster now compared to what they used to have. Next one's for bmtprime, and here she says, "Hey Trev, so Fear the Walking Dead's Kim Dickens in a new article said, and he's got quotes here. I think we were just sort of led to believe early on that there was no crossover because Fear the Walking Dead was a little bit different time period, a different story, different location, different characters, but I don't think it's anything that's out of the question. I'm sure the writers would do it in a fantastic way. So my question is, do you think there's more validity to the theory that Madison might become Alpha from The Walking Dead, from the Whisperers, Leatherfaces? So, no, I did a video on that earlier, and I was surprised actually how many people were interested in the theory. It was a fan theory that maybe she would cross over and wind up being a villain in the Walking Dead's original TV series, not Fear the Walking Dead. But I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think they want to keep... I think AMC just wants to have another show for Walking Dead, and they can only do so many episodes for the original that they want to bring in another... With Fear the Walking Dead, want to have another show on when the regular Walking Dead's not on. So I don't think they would want to cross those over and kind of leave one just to have the other. I don't think so. Plus, it's also, like you said, a different time period and everything, so I don't think there's any plans of doing that, and I don't think they will. Next one's from Cigar Nixica 89. He says, "Hey, Trev, please do a review for the season finale of Into the Badlands since The Walking Dead is not on." I fell behind on Into the Badlands. I've only seen the premiere, and I think, did I see episode 2? No, I actually watched just the premiere, and it's good. I like it a lot, and I would like to watch the second episode, but I've been watching Dragon Ball Super, getting caught up on that, and then, of course, just some other stuff I'm working on that. So, but it's definitely something that I could watch the rest of since, The Walking Dead is not on or anything. But I have noticed that I don't know if there's that much of a fan base for it right now for me to do reviews or do videos, that kind of thing, of Into the Badlands, even though I do like it a lot, and I did their premiere. So I'll think about it, but no promises. Next one's from Alex, who likes to swear almost as much as Negan. He says, "Hey, Trev." Oh, he calls me Triggity Trevo. How the F is she going? But I'm going to take out the F word because YouTube doesn't like that stuff. My question for you is, do you think we will see a potential relationship between Carl and Enid? Then he gets into all kinds of other crazy incest stuff and nuts stuff after that, so I deleted all that part. But the first part, between Carl and Enid. So, yeah, I think eventually we will see that, in the TV series, because I think that Enid is the TV series version of Sophia now. At first I didn't think she was, but now I think she is. So they should have some kind of relationship, but to spoil it for you, it's probably not going to last long term. Probably not. So there it is. Next is from Trident the Fan, and he says, what kind of villains would you like to see in the future comics? I'd like to see another character like Shane that kind of comes out of the main group and becomes a villain, so maybe betrays Rick or does something like that, and maybe tries to take over or something like that, which we're kind of seeing in the comic series now with Betrayed, but we don't have a strong character that's to front that kind of rebellion, so to speak. So that could be interesting to see somebody break off and then, join the Whisper, something like that. It's just, stir the pot, sort of like Game of Thrones type of deal. Man, I love Game of Thrones. I can't wait for it to return. And so that's what I'd like to see. And, of course, Alpha's a really good villain, too. Some people have been asking for Star Wars reviews. Sorry, guys. I just didn't get a chance to see it opening weekend. So I may do one in the future. I'm going to watch it eventually. So maybe I'll do a review eventually. But by that point, it'll probably be, too late. And probably everybody will already have, watched it and not really be interested anymore. So, but I do like Star Wars a lot. I really do. And I've seen all the previous movies several times. And so when I get a chance, maybe around Christmas time, if I have an extra day off or something, maybe I can go watch Star Wars, and I'll let you guys know if I'm going to do a review. But because I've heard the new one, J.J. Abrams episode 7 is great, but I haven't seen it myself yet. So the next one was also from Trident the Fan, and here she also says, would Negan and the governor get along? No way, man. No chance, no way. Not the comic book series versions or the TV series versions. Even if the governor had to pay up to Negan, eventually the governor would try to kill him, would try to take him out. The governor's just not that kind of guy to get along with anybody. And Negan isn't really either, not really, So the governor and Negan would never work between the two of them for them to work together. Next one's from Egg Time 27. Hey Trev, I love the channel. Will you be reviewing season 2 of Fargo? Thanks. No, not Fargo. I tried it. I watched the premiere and I was like, didn't really like it that much. The first season I liked a lot of Fargo, but the second season not really that interested. Didn't really like it that much. So yeah, there's the answer to that one. So I'll call it here for today's because we're over about 15 minutes. So keep sending me your guys' questions. Keep sending me your video suggestions, and I'll keep making them for you guys on almost a daily basis. Of course, Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Happy holidays to everyone. And if you like the video, you can thumb it up below. You can share. You can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow, probably. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace.